All right, friends, it's T-Man. I'm back with a reaction video to JasonBlaha new video that he just posted on his channel. Yes, the gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave himself, Blaha. So we're gonna react to Blaha's video. Blaha says, "My magic secret of how I lost over 100 pounds twice. Well, how did you get to 100 pounds to begin with? It was obviously unnatural, by unnatural means. How did you lose the weight? By unnatural means, okay.
How I lost over 100 pounds twice. Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here, and I thought I would share this with you guys.
The thing is this: you had to have got there by yourself. It was you that got there, and then it was him who restored himself. That, yeah, okay.
Gals, you know, because this is one of the things that people struggle with. This seems to be, for most people out there, the single hardest, biggest struggle and fitness goal is, if you are very overweight, is losing the weight and keep.
I don't understand why he keeps doing this for his legs. They're not getting bigger. They're not growing. There's nothing going on there.
It off.
I
Now,
just don't get it.
I will say, people say, but
you wanna slave yourself to doing this? This doesn't make any sense. Look, I'm not saying these are bad things. I think everybody should do what they're doing. I'm simply just reacting to this video of JasonBlaha. There's a lot of people I respect out there as lifters. They do it naturally. You gotta respect people that are doing a lot of things naturally, because it's really difficult to do things like that. They're not doing it for cosmetic purposes like Blaha, or performance purposes. He's got to inject strength because that's what he does.
you didn't keep it off. You regained it a decade later. Yes, I did. I regained it 10 years later. Okay, but
yeah, you did it yourself, because your body is your temple, and if you don't treat it like a temple, what do you expect? You really have to love yourself. You understand me? And Blaha, for somebody to keep getting fat, eat garbage, you don't love yourself, which is kind of weird. It's kind of odd, man. Like, me personally, I love myself. Therefore I love myself enough not to destroy myself. I've been in a position like him. It wasn't voluntary. I didn't do it I didn't get nerve damage or stenosis in my spine voluntarily. It happened accidentally. I can't explain it in this video. But he did it voluntarily to himself. You understand me? He gained 100 pounds and he lost it. Then he gained it back again. This is kind of weird.
I do want to state, for the record,
yeah,
it was easier to lose it the second time. And I didn't regain it because my lifestyle changed. I regained it because I got really sick. I had to spend time in bed. I became completely disabled. I became depressed due to my medical issues and a history of depression. People were bringing.
And what are the medical issues? What is the main thing as you're getting older? What starts to happen to you? An accumulation of DNA damage because of your diet, what you're eating, an artificial diet, which is not a natural human diet. It's, he's starting to learn now, maybe, because, I saw his last video where he was making those steaks and chicken, whatever, in the oven. Maybe he's learning watching my videos. I don't know. It's a possibility. I know Blaha's watching my videos, so maybe he's picking up on it. He's starting to loosen up on the stubbornness. There's no point in being stubborn in life. There's just no point, bro. Look, I make mistakes myself. I'm a human being. We make mistakes. We learn through experiences. You know what I mean? And then you share with your audience, listen, made a mistake and that's it, bro. Move on. A lot of people make mistakes out there. I watch a lot of people on their channels and stuff. I know that they're making mistakes. I know they're not making, they're making, they are, they aren't. Blaha has made a lot of mistakes, but I definitely got to say, Blaha has definitely corrected a lot of his mistakes. But not altogether, because he's still got a long way to go, man.
Made lots of junk food to comfort me, and so I pretty much had kind of almost given up on life. So I want to be clear. On that second one, it wasn't just, hey, it just came back on because I made some choices. It was a case of my entire life completely fell apart. A medical issue knocked me down, and I lost it. But then I got back up. Like I gained it and I lost it again. I got back up and I lost it. All right, and I'm going to give people a real hard truth here. As someone who's been through this experience twice, and then look how I look now. I'm almost 50. Right? Look at the body I have at this age.
I'll tell you one thing about Blaha. Definitely, he's going in the right direction, because really this world is based on physical. With the eye, see, that's how they judge you. That's how society judges you. They judge you how they see you, bro. Get it? So yeah, I would say he's on the right path. I don't know, physically, how strong do you have to really be? I mean, this just doesn't make sense, but whatever. He's good at lifting weights. I don't know. He takes steroids and whatever. He's got this cosmetic look. Is it helping him? I don't know if it's helping him in his life. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's taken away from being depressed or whatever he's suffering from. I can't say for sure. Maybe he doesn't like what he sees in the mirror, so it's time to change the face. I don't know, or the teeth or something. Who knows, man? He's changing the body, but what about the face?
Someone who's been morbidly obese, right? I'm going to give people the answer they don't want.
Somebody wrote me, I put something in my community section, a section there of these, the looks maxing thing, the fixing of the jaw, whatever. And then they go, oh, these simps are going to start fixing themselves. Well, a lot of them weren't really simps to begin with. The problem was what they were eating. Their food had destroyed them. But because I've seen many people on YouTube where they reversed eating these fake foods. They started eating natural food, and their facial features and their body completely changed. Because I really saw a lot of people, and they said the bottom line was they changed what they were eating. And as soon as they changed what they were eating, their looks changed. Because the more I go into eating more raw food, the more I change. Now, I'm an older person. I'm not a young person, so change doesn't come so easy in an older person. But definitely, I see a lot of change. I saw a change in my body structure, my function, the nerve problem kind of dissipated. A lot of things happen. A lot of good things are happening. Let me see. Him maybe doing this so-called bodybuilding thing, losing body fat. Maybe it's working for Blaha. I can't really say, but his problem is he's still eating an artificial diet. He hasn't truly cut it out. And he keeps putting out bad information to people to eat that kind of food. And people are influenced very easily. Young people are influenced very easily into this thing about, oh, so well, he's taking steroids, I should too. He shares it with his audience. Okay, so I'm a cheat. He's a cheat. I should cheat too. Oh, he's taking tofu and all this weird food. I should eat that too and do all these weird things. Or I should be a lifting slave in a gym 24 hours a day. None of this makes sense because it's really easy to influence young people into doing this. I'm not here to influence anybody on my channel, bro. I share information. I make slave videos, but I'm not influencing anybody. I'm not an influencer.
That's what they need, okay, because this is what this comes down to. This is what it comes down to. I can lie to you. I could say I have a gimmick that I'll sell you.
Yeah, it does have a gimmick. I just saw his community section. Again, it says he's got 3 slots open. He's always got these so-called 3 slots open because there's no slots to fill except the 3 slots. Man, there's nobody there.
I have a gimmick. I'll sell you the magic secret, make a bunch of money, and the people don't get their results.
Yeah, they're not getting results. Those were the magic secrets you sold, the 5x5 and all that. Everybody kept doing that. They did it naturally, and guess what? It didn't work for them. It didn't work for them, bro. It didn't work for them. Now, again, I didn't say that you can't lift a heavy weight. That's based on neurological adaptations. You are adapting to lifting the weight. But that isn't based on muscular adaptations because you are adapting to lifting a weight, coming in often to the gym. An adaptation in muscular strength is not based on consistency. It's based on periodically coming into a gym. Periodic, not consistent. Now, you want to come in consistent, then it'll just be neurologic to the weight. You're lifting a heavy weight. But physically and neurologically, you can get both 2 in 1 if you just came in periodically and you got an adaptation, but you're not doing that. That's a lot of people are just, they're not doing that. One guy asked me, what are the signs? What do I need to look for to get this damage? It's really simple. Just read NCBI DOMS Part 1. It tells you what these symptoms are when you get damaged. It's really simple. They call it ultrastructural muscle damage, and they tell you the symptoms that come along with it. There you go. How long does it last? Well, there's other NCBI reports. It'll tell you in there. It says 4 days. I don't know in the DOMS Part 1. I can't remember right now. It'll tell you the damage usually lasts about 4 days, okay? And then it dissipates. But that doesn't mean that the remodeling stage is not over yet. The shortest period of time to remodel a muscle is 7 days. So there you go, if you got an adaptation.
Instead, I'm going to show that I love you and that I want you to succeed. And that means I got to give some tough love. The tough love, there are no shortcuts. There's no magic secrets. Not if you really want to keep it off. It takes lifestyle change.
No, no, not at all. This lifestyle change and this, that, whatever the hell you're fucking talking about there. No, just eat your natural diet and your body will go back to what? Homeostasis. If you stop breaking the laws of nature, just eat your natural food as a human. I'm not talking about what your parents fed you as a slave growing up. I'm talking about you in the natural world, in reality, what you're supposed to eat, not the fantasy world that everybody keeps making these fantasy foods out there like cupcakes and shit and cereal and all that and whatever else.
Okay, and that's what it's going to take. But here's what I'm also going to tell you. All right, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say this with love. I'm going to say it with love and with compassion. It takes lifestyle change and it's hard, but you can do it. Okay?
No, it doesn't. What it takes is a behavioral change. It's behavior. You're behaving in an abnormal way as a human. You just have to eat your natural diet. Do not break the laws of nature. It's really simple. Break the laws of nature, you suffer. It's it. It's it. That's it.
But in order to do it, you have to believe in yourself. If you don't...
Not at all. You just have to believe in the process of not breaking the laws of nature, and it'll happen for you and I mean rapidly, and I mean fast, very quickly.
Love yourself.
Just look around on YouTube. You just notice people when they start behaving naturally. When they behave naturally, notice how in their videos they say change came about quickly. It happened fast, and they're already telling you the results. They're showing, producing, and telling you.
You're not going to be able to do it. And I think that's the hard part that it comes for a lot of people. Because I think that's...
The problem with Blaha is he still hasn't learned. He takes steroids. He lifts too consistently, and he still eats a fake diet, breaking the laws of nature. I'm not saying he's not eating meat now. Maybe he's changed his mind. But he still eats a bunch of weird foods that do not belong in his body.
That's the problem. You know, how many of us who, when we got obese, we ate ourselves into those situations because we didn't love ourselves? Okay?
How do you eat yourself into obesity on your natural diet, not breaking the laws of nature? Impossible. You were doing something unnatural, breaking the laws of nature. Duh.
Man, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yes,
Right?
Blaha, wasn't that a tough pill for you to swallow? I know you're watching my videos, and you're going to watch this video too.
It is a form of self-abuse because we didn't love ourselves. For whatever reason. Maybe you were abused. In my case, I was abused. I was abused as a child. Okay? I didn't love myself. I didn't believe I was good enough.
Man, I grew up in a time when people were really abusing children. Man, I grew up and I got to tell you, the environment I was in was extremely abusive, dude. So I don't know what you're talking about. A lot of people grew up in abusive environments. You're an adult now. You're not a child anymore. You can take the bull by its reins. Get it, bro? Stop simping.
All right? Maybe something else bad happened to you. Maybe somebody
Nothing bad happened. You survived. You're obviously alive. So, are you complaining that they fed you a slave diet? Is that it?
tugged down to you. Maybe your parents put her. Maybe someone you were with in a relationship, talked you down to the point where you didn't believe in yourself. You didn't love yourself. Maybe you did.
Oh, a lot of us have gone through that. I'm pretty sure. Tell me one person that hasn't gone through that, please.
Something bad, and you're punishing yourself. Maybe it's not even something someone else did. Maybe it's a case of. Maybe it's not even something someone else did.
I wouldn't disagree. A lot of people punish themselves for for whatever reason in life they believe they should be punished, which obviously they should not be, but whatever.
Maybe it's a case of you did something, made a mistake, a really bad mistake somewhere in life, and maybe it hurt somebody else. Or maybe it caused problems, and then you step back and said, man, I'm a bad person. And you quit loving yourself. Okay? That's a big part of this. And that's kind of step one. If we're going to talk about lifestyle change, because it requires lifestyle change. So I'm going to tell you, 100 pounds of body fat, that's 3,500 calories of energy reserve per pound. Whew. It's 3,500, right? What's that times 100? Yeah, people start doing the math real quick. And it's like, oh man, that's 350,000 calories of energy. You gotta burn that. And you have to do it while being active and doing other stuff and eating enough to maintain muscle and to function. You can't just starve it off.
Your muscle's not going to go anywhere, man. You're born with those muscle fibers and you're going to die with them. All right. They're not going anywhere.
After you lose too much muscle and metabolism slows down, no, you got to burn it.
You don't lose any muscle. You lose the mass on the myofibrillar. But you're not losing muscle. You're just losing the thickness on it, the mass part. But that doesn't mean the fibers themselves are going to disappear into la la land, Blaha.
You have to get through it, and that takes time. And because it's so much, if you want to do it right, that's a long-term strategy. And if you mess up, you're going to regain it. Okay? That's a serious commitment. And people say, well, what do you mean? Well, think about it. How often people say, a 1 mile walk or a 1 mile jog burns.
Man, my muscle is highly protected by your body because that's the one thing that it needs for you to function, to go around and eat or whatever, to survive. So it's going to do everything in its power to keep that muscle on. It'll burn everything else before it ever reaches into muscle. It'll tap into bone, your hair, your nails, your skin, your fat, glycogen, whatever it can to preserve that muscle because it needs to keep you alive. So that's the last thing that would ever go in your body.
Maybe 100 calories. All right, you see where we're going? That's like, for long people, if they do the math on that, they're like, that's 35 miles a pound times 100. Man, they're like, I'm gonna have to jog 3,000 miles. That's all the way across the U.S. Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna have to learn to love yourself, and that's the thing. If you want to be able to implement those lifestyle.
The question is this: does Blaha really love himself? If he's imprisoned himself to this gym and he has absolutely zero life, he has no life other than he's a lifting slave in a garage, lifting these man-made weights and eating man-made artificial food, which is destroying him still, and injecting man-made hormone chemicals called steroids in his body, strength to lift these weights. See what I mean? Does he really love himself? A person who loves themselves would never toxify their body. They wouldn't destroy their body with toxins or drugs or injecting these things. You know what I mean? Or being a lifting slave in the gym. Again, I got nothing against lifting. I lift sometimes. Okay, I don't do it. I don't do it often like these people. But I'm just saying, there's nothing wrong with lifting things, doing certain things. But when you're doing in access to the point where you're destroying yourself, well, what did you expect, bro? You know what I mean? You're just aging yourself, accelerated aging, looking 85 at 47. What the heck? That doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I watch people what they do on their channels. There people go to the gym. Some people want to lift really heavy. They lift specifically heavy. Some are looking for aesthetics. Some are looking for this. They want arms. They want a big back. They want big legs. They want a big deadlift. I don't know, bro. They want a whatever bench press or something. Everybody is shooting for their goals, of course. Blaha has his own goals. This is his goal right now. Me personally, I'm shooting for my own goal as well. It could be, you could say it's, I wouldn't say it's like what Blaha's doing. I definitely do like to look leaner, but not to the point where I'm going to get sick or something's going to be bad for me. I'm just improving. I'm getting rid of all DNA damage and trying to reverse all the damage that I did to my body. That isn't about it's anti-aging or I'm going to reverse aging. You are aging for sure at an astronomically slow rate. You just don't realize it. But you're deteriorating faster than you're aging. So you have to stop the deterioration and reverse a lot of the deterioration that you did to yourself. That requires a lot of work, I realized. When you really find out the truth, that takes a lot of work to do that.
Changes. Because notice I'm not even giving you the strategies here, right? Because until you can get to that point, are those strategies going to help? I can tell you, cut out refined sugar, cut out refined fat, start lifting weights, start walking every day, eat more fiber, eat more protein. Actually, that'll do it. You do those things.
No, that's wrong. Do not eat any fiber. Eat your natural food as a carnivore. Meat. Animal, let's just put it this way. Animal products and as raw as you can eat it. That's all. It's really simple. Eat it like every other animal does in nature. Raw. You aren't special because you're human, that you're going to be cooking and all that. Cooking doesn't exist in nature. Pots and pans and plates, they don't exist, bro. Get it? You understand me? They only exist in your mind, this fantasy world that you live in.
That's all. It's guaranteed. If you do those things, 100% success rate, right?
No, if you transition more to being a natural human being, then you're already on the path, 90% on the path. See what I mean? It's a transition. You have to transition because you've been conditioned, you've been brainwashed and enslaved to live an artificial lifestyle. You have to transition and move into the light, get it? And move towards a more natural lifestyle. That's the only difference.
That'll do it. But you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it because you don't love yourself enough to implement it. So that's where.
No, they're not doing it because they've been conditioned and brainwashed. And the belief of what they think is natural or normal to them is stronger than nature itself. Get it? So it's hard for them to break out of that mold, Blaha, like you.
You have to start. There's your starting point, is to step back. My first time it started with self-loathing. I just hated how I looked so much that I was disgusted.
There you go. It started with you hated the way you looked. It took you that much. It's going to take a lot of these people. It's going to happen when probably they get sick. Something astronomically bad's going to happen to them. And they'll be forced to change. That's all. Like
but
yourself.
It had to change because that's not enough to make it all the way to the distance in the end. It starts by stepping back and addressing.
Well, I would say it's better to do it before it happens. You should practice prevention before anything bad happens. That's definitely for sure.
The trauma, addressing why you don't think you're good enough, addressing why you think you're a bad person. Because until you can do that, and you can be honest with yourself about that, the rest is going to be hard. Because then you have to say, well, if I'm a good person and I love myself, I need to do this. I have to do this. I have to do it for myself. I have to. I have to. Because it then proves to you that you love yourself. You have the thought, and then you have the following action. So, are we looking for a magic secret? Secret is you got to learn to love yourself, and you have to love yourself enough to know that what you're doing is harming you.
Does Blaha love himself? He's jailed himself in this garage as a lifting slave.
And that you don't deserve that. There's your first step. There's your secret. All right, guys, with that.
I think what Blaha is in love with is the process. He's in love with the process. I don't think he loves himself. To tell you the truth, I really don't think Blaha loves himself. Because truly, if Blaha truly did love himself, then he wouldn't be a con and a scam. And he wouldn't act like one. And he wouldn't jail himself in this garage, be a lifting slave in this garage. You know what I mean? Lock himself up in here or whatever. There's a lot of things he would do differently, and he wouldn't promote fiber and eating these powders and eating these weird foods if he truly loved himself. So he doesn't really love himself. He just loves the process of this lifting and getting lean. He likes the process, because anybody who really loved themselves, you don't need to lift weights. You don't need to do this to get your body to go back to what? Homeostasis. So he must not really love himself. Again, he's lying to you people, but whatever. You figure it out. You're smart enough. I'll see you in the next one, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one.
Really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Yeah, see? Because he doesn't really love himself. See you in the next one. Ciao.